Have you ever had that moment where you stop and realize, wow, I actually created this? Like you look around at something you've poured your heart into for years, through the ups, the doubts, the pivots, and suddenly it hits you how far you've come? Well, that's where I'm at right now. Pretty Pineapple Bead just turned 8 years old, and in honor of this milestone, I want to take you all the way back to where it began. From a beading tray in my backyard to 1,000 plus orders across 16 states. We've come a long way, but it hasn't always been easy. In today's episode, I'm sharing the full story, the peace I found in making my very first bracelet, the moment I cried after my first craft show, the pivots, the grief, the triumphs, and the vision I'm holding as we head into year 9. If you're in a season of building something that matters to you, or even just dreaming of starting, this one's for you. Hey there, I'm Cassandra, the creative heart behind Pretty Pineapple Bead, and this is Sparkle and Shine, the podcast where we talk small biz, mindset, and the beauty of building a life you love, one colorful step at a time. Today's episode is a bit of a personal one. We're celebrating Pretty Pineapple Bead's 8th birthday, and I thought, what a better way to honor that than by walking you through the journey of how it all began, what I've learned, and what I'm dreaming of next. Let's rewind to 2017. I was working full-time in a stressful management position at a retail store. My days were long, emotionally exhausting, and filled with pressure. But when I got home or had a quiet moment on my days off, I would dive into arts and crafts. I've always loved creating, and I credit that to both my mom and my grandfather, who encouraged that love in me when I was growing up. One day, I pulled out some beads. No big vision, no plan to sell anything. I just needed something to decompress, to slow down. And something about picking up those tiny beads and playing with the different colors, shapes, and patterns felt so incredibly calming. It felt peaceful, almost zen-like. That moment, making my very first bracelet, is still crystal clear in my memory. I didn't know it at the time, but it was the beginning of something life-changing. In those early days, I made jewelry everywhere. Outside in my backyard, at my mom's house, at the park, even at a cabin my husband and I rented for a few days. While he played video games, I sat for hours stringing beads, completely lost in the rhythm of it. My first pieces were mostly bracelets, and the very first design I ever created, the tribal sun bracelet, is still one of my best sellers today. That alone feels like such a full circle moment. I never could have imagined it would grow into what it is now. At the time, it was just something for me. After about 2 years of quietly creating and building up inventory, I finally decided to try selling my jewelry at a local craft show in late 2019. I remember being so nervous. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know if anyone would like my stuff, but I packed up my table and my jewelry and just went for it. That day was magical. My entire family showed up. I'm talking my parents, my siblings, aunts, cousins, even my grandparents, as well as some of my friends. They all came. They bought some pieces, cheered me on, and made me feel like my dreams were valid. I even made some sales to some strangers. And on the drive home, I cried the whole way. I cried happy tears because it felt like something I had only dreamed about was actually becoming real. It felt like me becoming real. That craft show was all the validation I needed to keep going. It gave me momentum, it gave me confidence, and it planted this idea. Maybe this could actually become a real business. Of course, just a few months later, the pandemic hit. And with it, all the craft shows shut down. It felt like everything I had just started to build had come to a screeching halt. But I wasn't ready to stop. So I started to think about how I could keep moving forward. And that's when I slowly began building my website. I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't have a big launch. I didn't sit down one day and decide, well, okay, I'm going to become an e-commerce expert. No, I just chipped away at it when I could, after work, on my days off, and in between everything else life threw at me. And the hardest part? Product photography. I've always wanted my website to feel professional and beautiful, but I couldn't afford some fancy photographer. So I learned, I improved, I practiced. And even though I'm still figuring it out now, I pour my heart into every photo. That same heart I poured into those very first bracelets, yeah, it's still here. Fast forward to now, and Pretty Pineapple Bead just crossed 1,000 lifetime orders. On our 8th birthday, no less. That felt huge. For context, it took me 4 full years to hit my first 100 orders. And now we're shipping to 16 states and counting. It blows my mind. That 1,000th order actually came from someone who had only ordered once before. And they placed this new order after reading one of my emails. So not only did we hit a milestone, but my email marketing worked. And that felt like such a win. Another milestone that means the world to me, the growth of the DIY bead bar. What started as a fun add-on at summer markets has now become its own experience. And this year, I've been consistently booking private DIY bead bar parties. I even had customers return week after week at a recurring summer market. Some of them for years. That consistency, that connection, it's one of the most rewarding parts of what I do. All right, let's talk about me taking that full-time leap into my business and learning to trust the process. Technically, I first went full-time in 2021, but truth is, I was in a really hard place. I was drowning in depression, emotionally burned out, and on the verge of a breakdown. I had to leave my job to protect my mental health and honestly to feel like I was safe to be me again. That time gave me space to heal. But then in 2022, I lost multiple loved ones. My mother-in-law, my grandfather, and one of my uncles. It felt like the world was starting to crumble. I started to spiral again, and I missed having a sense of structure and community. So I decided to go back to work part-time. It wasn't easy, but it gave me room to rebuild. Now I've returned to full-time entrepreneurship, but this time it's different. I'm mentally stronger. I feel supported, I have systems in place, and I trust myself more. It's still messy and uncertain some days, but I'm not in survival mode anymore. I'm building something I love, and I'm not doing it alone. So what comes next? Well, looking ahead, I can see it so clearly. A year from now, I want Pretty Pineapple Bead to be thriving. I want to consistently book 2 DIY bead bar parties and at least 1 market each month. I want my online store to be buzzing with orders and my social media community to feel like a joyful, colorful sisterhood. More than anything, I want women to feel beautiful, confident, and expressive when they wear my jewelry or attend one of my DIY parties. I want them to feel seen, welcomed, and inspired to be their truest, most colorful selves. I imagine a future where I'm selling out collections, hiring help, and reaching annual sales goals that I only used to dream about. Not because I want fame or a huge empire, but because I want this work to be sustainable, to grow with me, and to support the life I'm building with my family. And yes, there's still so much to learn. I'm not afraid of that anymore. I know that even the smallest steps lead to big results. And I know I'm not starting from scratch. I'm building on everything I've already created. So here's your challenge this week. I want you to reflect on your own journey, whether it's in business, motherhood, creativity, or life. What milestone are you proud of? And what small step could you take today that your future self will thank you for? Write it down. Better yet, DM me or tag me on Instagram at Sparkle and Shine Podcast and share your answer. I'd love to celebrate with you. Well, that's all I've got. Thank you for being here today, for letting me share this journey with you, for supporting this little business that started as a beading project in my backyard, and for believing in the magic of color, confidence, and creativity. Whether you've been here since day one or you just found the podcast, I'm so glad you're a part of this community. If you loved this episode, it would mean the world to me if you'd leave a review, send it to a friend, or share it on your stories. Every single download, comment, and message reminds me that I'm not doing this alone. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep showing up, and keep sparkling.